Good morning
Good afternoon.
and good evening, and welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. in Business podcast. I'm Chris,
And I'm Helen Butler.
and for those of us that have never been on or listened to us before, what do we talk about?
We talk about business.
We talk about marketing,
We talk about life in general,
hacks,
working together.
the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to coin that, even though it's not our phrase, but I'm going to coin it because we talk about it a lot, don't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's life, isn't it?
Isn't it
There's
just?
always the good, the bad, the ugly.
So I feel like we start off every podcast normally with like what a week or something like with this week.
Yep.
I don't know how to do it now. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
It's
yeah.
been a really positive it's been 2 weeks since the last week. Yeah, really positive 2 weeks.
Mm.
We've had so much going on.
Yep.
It's been non-stop, not
Mm.
in a negative way, in a really positive way. It's been
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. No, it has been exciting.
We launched the podcast studio
Yep, with two Krakens.
with 2 Krakens 2 weeks ago,
Mm.
and we've had loads and loads of interest. It's been amazing actually. The messages we've received, people coming,
Yeah.
their feedback has been incredible. So
Yep.
I think that's made all that hard work really worth it now, which is good.
Yeah.
And now we're working on the content studio element of it. So in terms of the green screening, that's coming in the next few weeks. So we'll be able to offer green screens.
Mm.
And yeah, just getting things are moving. Things
Yeah.
are moving.
Exciting times.
But we're on a steam train now and there's
Mm.
no stopping it.
And you're going that way and I'm going that
Oh
way.
yeah.
So I think that's why you're extra happy. And if for those that aren't watching, I'm doing one hand
Opposites.
for Chris going one way and me going the other.
Yeah. And so now we're both the happiest we've ever been.
Because we never see each other.
Well, no, because I've moved into a different
No.
room, haven't I? So
Yeah, you've got your own little separate office space, which is lovely. But I must say, I love my office space as well. So it's such a nice. It does make a massive difference. Your workspace
It
and your
really does.
environment.
It really does.
Because I mean, gosh, what was it? 2 years ago, probably that we were saying, what doesn't feel right in your day to day? What do you like? What don't you like? And we were literally going down to the nitty gritty as to what could we do to improve your daily feelings and emotions. And because I'm very in touch with my emotions and little things affect me and all the rest of it, and you're very attentive in that you take that on board, and I do appreciate that because I appreciate I'm not the easiest person. But
No
you
comment.
and we'll end that conversation there. It's not a conversation, it's
No,
just a
a
statement.
statement.
But you take it on board 110%, and I really appreciate that. And you are like, I can be a procrastinator, but you have something in your mind and you do it.
Oh, I can't stand it.
And I
Just get
love
it
that.
done.
I do love that about you. So I said, I feel like, I don't enjoy our office environment where we are with the white walls and the white tables. And you're like, okay, ping. And here we are. And I'm like, wow, I love our office space.
So yeah,
So,
we've got that. And then I built another office that's now off the back of the podcast studio just so we
mm,
can monitor the podcasts. And I thought might as well turn it
mm,
into just a little office at the same time.
a
So
little office. It's
uh,
fancy as hell.
no, well, I
Fancy as,
don't know. But it's really good now though, because I'm not with you. So
thank you. Thank you so much.
let me finish. Now you see, this is what happens with perspective, isn't it? You've cut it off, and everyone think I'm just nasty. No, let me finish. Because actually, whereas before, as I've been in the office with you, and I felt like you would just throw questions at me or just start a
Mm,
random conversation.
mm,
And I've spent so much of my working life when I'm working, well, actually by myself. We did a lot of going around and seeing people, and those other bits and pieces, and working with people. But
mm,
a lot of time as well, I had my own office. So for years and years,
mm,
and so when I shut the door, everybody knew that you don't come in. My door was open a lot of the time, but when it was shut, you don't come in. You don't unless
mm.
the building's burning down. You don't come knocking, basically.
Yeah.
And that was the rule, and it worked. But I didn't have that when working
Mm,
with you. We were always
yeah.
together,
Mm,
and so you worked very differently. And so for me, I found I've been so much more productive. But then also,
mm,
I think I said this to you this morning. I feel that when I come back in the main office,
mm,
I can actually talk to you and have a conversation. I feel like I probably talk to you more now than I did when I was in the room with you.
mm.
As
Yeah.
bizarre as that might sound.
Yeah. And
What are you smirking for?
because earlier
You
today
smirking?
I was before I came into the office, I'd just finished in a meeting, and I texted you, didn't I? I texted you a couple of
Oh,
questions.
flipping bunny boiler.
And you wrote back saying, Helen, you're a bunny boiler. The answer's blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
because you text me 3 text messages, one after the other. One was saying hello, which I can't stand. Then she emails me, and then she Facebook messages me. I'm like, fuck off.
Hello.
Honestly, it's like a bunny boiler.
I've got a customer waiting. Customer waiting.
Check out number two. Honestly, yeah. So yeah, I did have to call you a bunny boiler. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I thought it was hilarious though the fact that you could call me a bunny boiler, and I just laughed. Um, but like, yeah, dependent on my mood. Well, no, I would never be offended by that. I did understand where you were coming from. I thought it was
Well, you got to
hilarious.
surely. I mean, you were
Yeah,
just
no, I
bombarding me.
know. Yeah, yeah.
I called you
So
the little toffee hammer.
yeah,
You keep tapping until I crack.
until I get my own way,
Yeah. Tap
I
tap
won't
tap tap
stop
tap tap tap
tapping.
tap 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 tap. There goes the crack. Um. So yeah, now got me in studio. So it's been an
Mm.
exciting few weeks, hasn't it? And
Yeah.
we're working on some even more exciting projects coming that
Mm.
we're hoping will be launching this year. Can't talk too much about it. It's a
Mm.
secret. Ooh.
Ooh.
Um.
Gonna be that really annoying person. I've got some really juicy gossip.
Yeah.
Can't tell you though.
No. No. Yeah. Just that. Yeah.
Like and
Um.
subscribe, and we'll tell you.
But that will be coming in the next well, probably a few months to be in reality.
Mm.
But there's some really exciting stuff going on at the moment.
Yeah.
We've released or no, not released. We are testing and we've released
Mm.
it for testing our new Tap Me feature on our clothing.
Yes,
Do you
we
want to explain
have.
that? Because that's Thread a Pixel.
Yes. So now we've taken technology to the next level.
Ding.
Thank you. So so I'm not on the garment I'm wearing today, but
I do.
on Christopher's garment. Tap here. You can tap there with your phone, and you will be shown all of his contact details, all of his different businesses, how you can contact him, more about him. It's the bee's knees. And I've been using it the last week, and people's faces. Ooh. Like everyone's loving it.
So
It's
let's just
so
put that in
fantastic.
perspective for the people that are listening that aren't watching. So
Mm,
basically, on the arms of our garments, we have something that
mm,
says "Tap Me"
mm,
and the NFC symbol. Sorry, so it's that
mm.
thing you see when you pay with your phone.
Yeah,
Those three like bars almost of
yeah.
your network,
Mm,
and you literally hover your phone over that area, and then it brings up a like an NFC notification on your phone. You
mm,
click it,
mm,
and then it opens up a website, which is
mm.
your website. We call it a mini
Yeah.
site, really, or
Mm,
it's called a tap bio.
mm,
That we've named it, and it's like Helen said. You can click
mm,
a button, download all your contact information straight into your phone.
mm.
Lots of links. It's almost like I suppose a link tree, an equivalent
Yeah,
to that,
yeah.
but it's our own thing that we've built as well, our own software. So
Mm,
we are testing that at the moment, and the response so
mm.
far has been
Yeah.
again fantastic.
Mm.
Everyone's saying, "How much is it? When is it live? When can I have
Yeah,
it? When can I have it?" So
yeah,
that's amazing. So that'll be
yeah,
we like to test things first, don't we? We want to make
yeah,
sure they work properly. I
yeah,
can't stand. I had a little
yeah.
rant to you about
Oh,
something
you
this
did.
morning, and I
Yeah.
won't rant about it now. But I just can't stand for me personally that somebody that offers a service that they charge money for
Mm.
and decent money as well,
Yeah.
and they don't deliver.
Mm.
Ah,
A good standard of
yeah, I mean, one of the things, and I will say one of the things,
mm,
and this drives me insane. Videographers, I'm looking at you guys, right? Not the content creators, the videographers, and I'm looking down the barrel of the lens here at you if you're watching this. Hide your bloody microphones when on camera. Now, don't use this as an example, right? Because it is a
that
podcast.
would
It's
have been good.
totally bloody different. But when you're shooting a B2B video, I
Mm.
get sick and tired of people holding these
Mm.
stupid content creator mics.
Mm.
Or
Mm.
you see the lapel mic, the lavalier mic. What is
Yeah.
that about?
It's quite
It's
easy to
flipping
hide.
lazy.
Attention to detail.
It is attention to detail, and it drives me
Mm.
insane because it just starts me thinking, "Oh, what else then have you cut?" And it makes me look at your
Well,
video more
mm,
intently.
mm,
What else have you done? What else have you
mm.
skipped a corner? So it
Yeah.
drives me nuts. So
Yeah.
we like to test everything, make sure it works properly before we release it into the wild.
Oh, yes.
So that's what we're doing at the moment. So we've got that,
Yeah.
and we've got some other bits that we're building, which will come later in
Mm.
the year, which are more to do with two Krakens.
Mm.
Um, they're sort of, I think they're gonna, or my hope is they're gonna revolutionize the way you navigate a website and ask somebody questions.
Yeah.
I haven't found
Mm.
anything like it. It's all video based. It's all personality based. It's all
Mm.
trust based. Everything we're trying to
Mm.
achieve with two Krakens, which is great. Um,
Authentically you.
authentically you. So it's really exciting times at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. You're really able to come out of your little man cave to really produce things that you absolutely love doing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you've,
it's working well, isn't it? Because we're kind of
yeah,
we're not splitting up. This isn't a
not just yet.
separation. But your
Mm,
background has always been in clothing, right? So you've
mm,
done that since leaving
yeah,
school.
Mm.
and Thread a Pixel was always your passion.
Mm.
And I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but
Mm.
it's not my passion. It's not where my
Mm.
passion lies. So for me,
Mm.
sometimes getting up and getting into it might be a bit more of a struggle than it might be for you.
Mm.
And so I've supported you, we
Mhm.
supported each other on this journey building Thread a
Mm.
Pixel. And we've got it to a
Yeah.
point now where it's like, okay,
Mm.
well, what do I enjoy doing? And
Yeah.
I enjoy things like creating,
Mhm.
creativity, videography, the podcast things. I've been loving doing that. Um, Tech as well, how you can integrate tech with
Mm.
personality. And I've got this
Mm.
bugbear that I've had for a long time that I think companies struggle with building trust. And I don't think it's something they're paying enough attention to. So
Mm.
that's what Two Krakens is. So that's kind of
Mm.
becoming my baby, and you're
Mm.
supporting me now with that as
Mm.
well as Thread a Pixel, and then I'm
Mm.
supporting you with Thread a Pixel. So we're kind of
Yeah.
separating a little,
Yeah.
but overarching. Actually, we were discussing this the other day with the business coach. That overarching, actually, both companies
Mm.
serve really the same purpose, which is to help build trust
Mm.
for our customers and their audience,
Yeah,
right?
but in a creative way because we're both, whilst we're different, we both are creative,
Yeah. So
so
one's delivered
works
through
well.
thread through
Mm.
clothing, and the
Mm.
other's delivered through things like videography and podcasting and
Mm.
tech and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
enough rambling. But yeah,
Mm.
just wanted to say because normally we start these. It's been what week? It's been a crazy week,
Yeah.
but
Or
this
we've
week's
been
been
ill.
we've all been ill. But it's
Yeah.
been really exciting the past few weeks. And how
Yep.
nice is it to be back in
Yes.
our normal studio? We just
Yes.
said this before we came
I
on and
know, yeah.
recorded it. That it
Mm.
feels like forever since we've been in here, even though it wasn't. We were in here 2 episodes ago, but it just feels
Yeah.
like because we've been
Here, there, and
jumping around
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, and there's been, like, 2 long weekends in between that.
yeah.
So, that has been really luxurious. It has been really
I've
nice.
so enjoyed it.
Like, we've done the old joke, getting up on Sunday morning and saying, "Ah,
Work tomorrow.
got work tomorrow."
Oh no!
Not.
Yeah. So that's
Ah,
been nice.
yeah.
That has been nice. The thing is now though, it's
Mm.
going to be hard when you come back to a normal
Yeah, I
5 day
know.
week, isn't it?
Next
But
week's gonna be a
well, it's
tough
not because
one.
it's exciting stuff happening. But
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
week's episode.
Yes, it's an interesting one.
Let's see if my wife remembers what it was because she said this morning, "What are we talking about in the podcast later?" And I said, we could talk about what it is.
Mm,
She's about to
mm.
say. Let's see if she
Yes,
remembers.
I have remembered.
Okay. Test. What
Does
is it?
Is bigger better? Does
Well, in my
size
case,
matter?
hopefully not. We're talking about
Well,
business.
yes, business
Business.
based.
Dirty people,
I
honestly.
mean, what?
Wash your minds
Yeah.
out. Um, yeah, so we want to
Mm,
talk about, does bigger necessarily mean
better.
better, more successful? Yeah, just in general,
Mm,
what does size of a business directly equate to the quality or the
mm,
success of a business?
mm,
And it's interesting. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like I've done
mm,
like an up and down sort of thing, like a roller coaster on this. That one minute I
mm,
think one, and then I'm
mm,
thinking something different. And I think now I've worked out what I think the answer is for me. I think
mm,
the interesting thing that came off the back of it from me going through that roller coaster is that it's different for everybody.
and it's yeah, yeah, and as, a customer point of view, it depends as well.
Mhm.
It can be just down to the individual person that you're dealing with,
Right?
as a consumer, but as a business owner, yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons.
Yeah,
But yeah, of course, we've got an opinion on that, haven't
we
we?
have. So do you want to go first? Because I feel like I've done a lot of talking today. I'm really excited.
Yes, just calm
Yeah, shut
down.
up, Chris. This is
Um,
my podcast too, you know.
no, I'm not precious. Um,
She says that, and then afterwards I'll get it in
I'm
the
not precious.
neck.
Now shut up. It's my turn to
She's
talk.
going to get one of those. You know, you get the selfie sticks where she's going to get one with a needle on the end and just kind of extend it until it pokes me.
You will be quiet. Um, yeah, no, I mean, there's pros and cons, really, isn't there? I mean, we've got quite a lean team.
Hmm.
Um,
What we do now.
yeah, no, we've got a fantastic team. No, what I mean is we haven't got a huge team.
No, not now. No.
So we were at a stage where we wanted to sort of, double or treble that team.
Hmm.
That was a discussion we had a couple of years ago. You have worked in larger businesses than what I've generally worked in, although it's a mixture. And you have managed large teams,
Mm.
whereas I have more so worked in smaller teams and worked for smaller businesses. Um, and so, yeah, you've been used to managing people, you've been used to managing large teams and large budgets and things like that. And you thrive from that sort of environment. Whereas that sort of thing does stress me out a little bit,
Mhm.
especially when it's your own business. Like, for example, if you've got a team member sick, then when you've got a really small team, then that means that you've got to, you know, come
It's a
in.
big impact.
Yeah, the smaller the team, the bigger the impact. And yeah, at one point, yeah, we wanted to double or treble the team. We wanted to have a turnover of XYZ. Worked out what we needed to do for that. And then I think one Monday, two of our team called in sick,
Mm.
and that was just. I just burst into tears. I said, "I don't want to do this.
That dreaded
I
sickness
can't
call.
do this anymore."
Yeah.
And that was a bit of a turning point, and then we both then we calmed down,
Mhm.
and I gathered my thoughts, and we kept with it, and with the plan of the larger team, and just said, look, you just need to calm down. But then as the weeks and months went past, and you were working out what we needed to earn for this, that, and the other. Um, we luckily, whilst we're chalk and cheese and have completely different ways of working and slightly different outlooks on certain things, we both agreed, no, I want to be more in control of the business. I like the way it's running. What do you enjoy in life? And that's when you decided the team is running really well.
Mhm.
We know what we want in a team member. We know what a team member can achieve. We know what we want them to achieve. We know how we want to help them grow. And my passion, Helen, is doing the creative side. So that is what really makes me, that's what you said, really makes me happy.
Mhm.
So we said, well, hold on, Thread a Pixel's working really well.
Yeah.
Let's use your time to do what you're really good at as well. And so that's when we made the decision that we want to stay at the size that we're at.
Mhm.
It's working at a way that we like, and then that can allow you to work on the other side
Yeah.
for launching more into two Krakens. Um, so I've waffled on there
You have waffled
and
on
a
there.
half. Um, but yeah, there's always reasons for being bigger and smaller. Now,
You're gonna carry on waffling.
with smaller companies, someone might say, "Oh no, I can't go to them. They won't be able to fulfill the order." But you know what? When you go to a smaller team, it's probably more likely that that team is going to want to go above and beyond to get you that order
Mhm.
sorted and done top notch.
It's
Um,
interesting, is it? Because you automatically think so we have a saying now, or it's part of a strapline, is it, for Thread a
mm,
Pixel? So we are, um, uh, small enough to care,
yeah,
big enough to trust.
yeah,
And there's this thing, isn't it, with do we trust larger organizations
mm,
more than we trust smaller organizations? What I
mm,
mean by that is to complete orders if it's time sensitive or if
yeah,
they're large or if they're business critical or something like that.
mm,
Do we trust a small independent or a small a
mm,
sole trader or a small team to complete that versus a
mm,
large organization? And
mm,
sometimes I think that subconsciously we trust larger organizations to be able to deliver on those things.
mm,
And so we are kind of, I feel like now we're at this kind of perfect middle point in that we genuinely are uh, big enough to trust
mm,
but small enough that we care.
yeah,
And
mm,
we prove that on numerous occasions. I'm not going to go into that, but
mm,
I think for me I've kind of gone through this up and down journey of
mm,
size.
mm,
And yeah, I've worked at small companies where there's only four or five. Then I've worked at companies where there are probably thousands of employees and
mm,
managed probably at one point for about 400 staff FTEs across the UK. And with the first business that I set up once I left that job was hashtag CV, which was a CV building,
mm,
um, online CV builder.
mm,
I had this vision in my head that we were going to be the biggest
mm,
CV building company in the world. And that was my vision. I had this vision of this big fancy building, loads of staff, and that excited me. And I was really, up for it.
mm,
That was where I wanted to get to. And as time's gone on, it's kind of that size in terms of organization, in
mm,
terms of staff, if you like, has got less and less and less. And Thread Pixel, we've scaled up and scaled down and scaled up and
mm,
scaled down,
mm,
and we're like you said, we're at this nice space now.
mm,
And I think now, I don't know if it says I'm getting older, but I feel that actually the size of the organization, for me personally, has no correlation to its success.
mm,
Because to me, success now isn't about having the biggest company. And we
Mm.
say this in Thread Pixel, and we say this to
Well,
customers and
that's
the
the
staff.
same as
We,
turnover, isn't it?
yeah, we have
Like, it's
no
not.
intention to be the biggest workwear
Mm,
provider. That is
mm,
not what we're here to do. But I tell you what, we'll be the best in the area. Now
well,
we will do that,
mm,
and as
I
far as
feel
I'm
like
concerned, we
we
are
are.
that.
Mm,
Um, so that is my. But that doesn't matter how big we are. That will not change. If anything, I would
mm.
argue the bigger that we get, the harder it is to sustain that quality.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Mm. Yeah, because I was going to say when I was finishing my paragraph earlier,
oh, I'm sorry, but you didn't stop bloody
I
talking.
know, yeah. No, a lot of people, I've heard the comment, oh, they're massive now, they won't care about your order anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's a negative on being the larger business. And, of course, you're going to get to a stage where if you are so big, you yeah, you're thinking about the staff and have you got these quality control things in place? And
It's a
there is
lot
so much
harder.
more to manage. And all I'm hearing now from all industries is that people are struggling to get the right staff. And it's not even just about um, the right skilled staff, it's the attitude
Mm,
and, um, it's just finding that right fit. So that's such a huge thing as well. The more staff, obviously, if you've got when you're a smaller team, if one person's off, it makes a big impact. But equally, finding good staff is hard. So the larger the team, the more pressure to find the right team.
yeah.
And if you have a bad egg, that
Oh, it
goes
can
through
go
the
into
team
through a
like
wildfire. Yeah,
wildfire.
yeah, yeah. That negativity
Mm,
spreads uncontrollably. And you talk about quality, and that's really interesting because uh, in my previous life, in the job where I was managing all those people across the UK,
mm,
part of my role was managing a national contract. So I started off
mm,
with managing a contract in the Black Country. Now, this contract actually should have been delivered exactly the same in, I think there was 7 contract package areas. So there was 7 geographies,
mm.
UK geographies managed by different
Counties.
managers.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
And I looked after the Black Country. Now, we should have all been delivering the same thing in the same way
mm,
with no variances whatsoever.
mm,
And all of a sudden, we were getting issues with Wales. So my boss said, "Would you go and have a look at Wales? Because they're having some problems with whatever it was. I can't remember. Go down, have a look. Well, they're not delivering this anything like we're delivering it.
mm,
Then I report that back, and they're not delivering. Well, okay, can you go in and fix it? Yeah, that's fine. I fixed it. Put it right. Great. A few months later, can you go back? They're having problems again. They want to pull the plug in Wales. The DWP, who was the people that awarded the contract, want to pull the plug
mm,
in Wales if we don't get it sorted. Went back down. They're not doing it right again. And then I started chatting to some of the other managers in the other areas. How
mm,
do you do this? How do you do that? Oh,
mm,
we do it this and that.
mm,
We don't do it like that.
mm,
And it was interesting. That's how I got and became that my role became that after a bit was actually I became the national contracts manager. They look after the whole thing, getting everybody singing
mm,
off the same hymn sheet.
mm,
And it was really, really difficult. We
mm.
achieved it, but it was a lot harder than it would have been if there were only 6 people
Yeah,
where we're
yeah.
all in the same building
Mm,
working together. So
mm,
controlling quality is really difficult once the
mm,
team gets big, and
mm,
especially then when you start dealing with secondary, third, fourth, and multiple locations, it becomes
mm,
really difficult.
mm,
Um,
mm,
and I think a lot of our customers are coming in now. We
mm,
spoke to somebody actually only a couple of weeks ago. And we showed them the last week, so we showed them the podcast studio. Said
mm,
that
mm.
they have scaled right back,
Yeah.
and they are earning more now. They have
Mm,
more free time now,
mm,
and they are happier.
yeah. Mm,
And
mm.
you know what? I
And they're
think
no worse off
that's
financially.
me. They're better off. He said he was
Yeah.
better off.
Yeah.
He has more money.
Mm,
His profit is
mm,
higher. It means
mm,
his salary can be higher.
mm,
He's got rid of all the team. He works on
mm,
his own now. I think he brings in
mm,
subcontractors for certain bits and pieces.
mm.
Um, he's picked the clients he wants to work with. So he's gotten rid
Yeah.
of all of his headache clients,
Mm.
as we've all got them, right? Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
In all industries. Yeah.
So he's got rid of all those. He's kept the ones that he wants to work with, the ones he enjoys, and I
Yeah.
suppose the ones that are most profitable. If we're being
Mm,
honest.
mm,
Uh, I mean, at one point he said he managed to cut his hours right down. He
mm.
stopped because he was bored,
Yeah.
but he said, I never got to do that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so is because of COVID and all of these
Mm.
things that have happened since COVID, is that changed a lot of people's
Made us.
mentality around
Yeah.
size isn't everything?
Mm. The-
I'm looking at you now to say something.
it- 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 it-
You can tell we don't edit this, can you?
COVID definitely changed people's priorities in life.
Mhm.
100%. And people made changes in their personal life, which has brought in so many changes within the business world and life balance and this whole life balance work life balance
Yeah.
whole thing. which, is good for people for different reasons. Like us reflecting, saying, what do we really love?
Mm.
What job do we really want to do? There's got to be You've got to make the pluses work for you if you're going to run your own business, because
Yeah.
it's damn hard work and it has to be something you enjoy.
Mhm.
Um, so, and now I think with these crazy new government things, which we won't go
We
into
won't
in
go into.
detail because you'll become Mr. Angry, um, that has made businesses reflect again on streamlining.
And shut businesses.
Yeah, it, it will close a lot of
Mm.
businesses, but it will make, firstly, a lot of businesses have to streamline
Yeah.
and reflect on what they absolutely need and who they absolutely need.
I think more so it's who, I think people, because
Mm,
actually the lot of the changes that have come in have been related directly to people.
mm,
And
mm,
I mean, I won't go on about it, but God knows how they think raising the NI contributions
mm,
creates more jobs and brings more money into the
mm,
economy. When for me, all it's doing is just going to,
mm,
companies are going to, like you say, relook at their staff and all of the,
mm.
and let's be honest, every business, and the bigger they are, the more they'll have dead weight.
Yeah.
And well, the people that are just like, oh, they cause me, they don't bring any value to the business, but I
Mm,
kept them because I liked them. Well, they're
mm,
all going to go
mm.
because businesses
No
can't
more
afford it.
plodders.
So,
Yeah.
which companies need plodders? I've always said this: the
Yeah. In
larger the,
large
in
businesses, you
small
need a.
companies, you don't need plodders. In large companies, you need plodders because not
Mm,
everybody can be the next manager or director. So you
yeah.
need plodders. They're great. They help make large organizations. They're fantastic. They'd fall apart without them.
Mm,
But companies will start saying, "Well, do I need six plodders or can I get away with four plodders?" You know,
100%.
and so,
Yeah.
but we're not going to go on about that
Yeah.
because I do get angry.
But yeah, so large organizations, I would imagine, will become slightly smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, I was speaking to a clinic today, where she has, admin roles, people taking the bookings, booking them in, and doing different admin roles. And she said, but I've added a high turnover of staff; they're just not getting it right.
Hmm.
She's now done that to a bot, and it's all done through
Right.
that whole thing. And she said, and it's 24/7, and it's working fantastically.
Yeah.
Now she said, I didn't want to do it to that. I wanted that personal touch,
Hmm.
but when it's being done wrong and you're paying that person,
Yeah.
it's a really tough one, because I don't think people want to take people out of, well, people absolutely don't want
No,
to
of
take
course they
people out
don't.
of jobs. No one wants to do that.
But you're being forced into a
But
situation where you might not have any choice. Your cards are being forced. You're becoming forced to show your hand, aren't you? Whatever the saying is, I don't know.
Mm,
But yeah, so
yeah.
my thing now is size of an organization does not lead to its success. I mean, it does absolutely
Mm.
depend on what your
Yeah, it
end
depends on.
goal is in mind. I mean, if you want to be
Mm.
the the world renowned for whatever it is, the chances are you're gonna have to be a
Yeah.
decent sized organization. Or if you want to be um, the biggest, then you're gonna have to be a big
Mm.
organization. There's
Yeah.
no doubt
And if you
about
do
it.
want
But
high, massive turnovers,
you're gonna
like,
need to be a big organization, right?
naturally you're going to have, theoretically, you're going to have bigger profits. But when you're in that middle stage, you do need to look at the numbers, don't you, to see.
Yeah, I mean, we something we do a lot of, and it's not for this podcast, but we spend a lot of time going over numbers.
Mm,
I mean, this is one of the things I used to do when I used to, again, in the previous life, go and look at other areas, was
mm,
look at this. So when I went to look at why they weren't performing, or this piece around consistency and make sure everyone's doing the same, the businessman or the owner of that or the director of that area would say, have a look at the finances for us. Well, have a look. And I'd go and speak to
mm,
they were called business managers, I think, or contract managers. What you must look like is like, what's your turnover around? They give me the turnover. Right, okay, so what does that mean for your bottom line?
mm.
I don't know. And
That's
I got it
scary.
so often. And like it's the same thing, say the same thing to everybody that I saw when they said that to me.
Mm,
How are you making buying decisions or any business decisions
mm,
if you don't know your margins?
mm,
It, I don't get it. I
mm,
mean, something we do every single month is we look at the numbers and we're always on top of them. I can tell you the margins on every single product that we sell, the good, the
mm,
bad,
mm. The
and
good,
there
the
are
bad,
bad
the
ones as
ugly.
well. Yeah, good, bad, ugly. Um, but yeah, you've got to know those things. You've got to.
It is scary, like, because it was a good example, like, so basic, but, our son was selling some bracelets as a little business,
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yeah, brilliant,
here
I've
they are.
sold that one. Yeah, as modelled by you." Oh, I'm gonna hide mine because I haven't got it on. Hide my wrist in shame. He was like, "Yeah, brilliant, I've got £6 now from that one," and it was like, "But what did it cost? What
Yeah.
was the delivery when you got all that from shipped from Europe?" Because he had to have the best.
Mm.
Um, and everyday people setting up businesses have that same mindset. Well, huge businesses
Yeah.
like you were managing. So, I mean, that's your side. That is so over my head. That is not my domain. That
And
is
that's
your
fine
domain.
because everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. But the point being, though, is that if you're on your own or you don't have a business partner that understands those numbers, you need to make it your business to know those
Yeah,
numbers
or pay someone to do it
or
for you,
yeah, to give you
because
the data.
you can't do it
That's
all.
fine.
Yeah.
Give you the data end of the month. But yeah, so
Mm,
um,
mm.
I feel like we've gone off a bit of
So
a
we don't really
tangent,
have
but
an answer for
I feel like we do this a lot, don't we?
we have our own answer, and that
Yeah,
and
well, mine is
hence
bigger is not better.
no,
But if anything, I'd say there's a sweet spot, like in every business. I think we've
yeah.
hit our sweet spot.
Yeah, and we feel like
Um,
we've got the perfect lean team, small enough to make changes as and when we need to, which I think you have to be able to at
mhm,
this moment in time and for the next few years.
yeah,
We've already made lots of little changes internally to make it work for everybody,
mhm,
and that's working well. And I think because you are so quick at thinking of new ways of working and different adaptations, that definitely works to our advantage because you want to try it, we'll do it. Right, we'll
yeah,
check with the team. Are you happy? Right, we're going to do it. If it doesn't work, fine, we'll admit that, we'll change it, just try something else.
mhm.
When you're a huge organization, you cannot do that.
It just takes forever. There's so
You
much red
cannot
tape,
do
and you
that.
got to get every single department
Mm,
involved, and
mm,
everyone's got to stick their oar in. Well, you can't do that because
mm,
that doesn't line up with
mm.
my blah blah blah. It's a
Yeah.
nightmare.
So I can't remember. I was listening to a podcast a couple of years ago, actually, and I can't remember who it was now, but because she was a smaller company, she could make these quick changes
Mhm.
to win new business because the larger guys just couldn't make those
Yeah,
changes fast enough, and that's how she grew and made a lot more business like that.
yeah. It's great being there's so many advantages to being a small team, so
Mm,
many, and like I
mm,
say, I would argue now there are more having a small team than a big team. I
mm.
think it depends on the job, right, and the
It
industry and
it
stuff. But
does. It does.
I would definitely have an easier time arguing that now than I would have maybe 5 years ago.
Mm, mm.
Um, but yeah, I think for us, sweet spot, smaller is probably better.
Well, it's allowed us to have 2 businesses as well,
Yeah.
hasn't it? And, we've often had more than one business going, and through COVID, that's what got us through COVID,
Mhm.
having 2 businesses. And, quite a lot of people that we work with and speak to have said having 2 businesses that, not necessarily work hand in hand, but can work in harmony, and even when they don't necessarily work completely coherently, they can totally
Cohesively.
cohesively, not coherently. It's the end of the day. It's been a long
I'm
one.
sorry.
Don't start off at me.
I just didn't want you to look stupid, so I was trying to
I
correct you.
already do.
Well, yeah, maybe I don't know what's better to leave it or correct you. I don't
It's
know.
like when you've got lipstick on your teeth, do you
Yeah.
tell them?
Yeah. Yeah. It happens all the time.
You're gonna tell me that now?
No.
Um, so yeah, it's just I think that is good for us as well, having the 2 businesses. I mean, for our relationship, it's been nice
Yeah.
to separate. But yeah, it is really exciting, and we like different things going on, and it just made sense for what we wanted for our happiness as well.
Yeah.
So
So I think there isn't really a definitive answer to that question. Is
no,
bigger
it's just
better?
more of a
Personal
discussion.
thing. But what I would say though is if you are
Mm.
unsure, look at it, run the numbers, run the models, see what it might look
No.
like, put it all into a spreadsheet. Get you got
Yeah.
your accountant, get them to put together some kind of
Yeah.
P&L, some kind of forecasting tool or something.
Mm.
Throw the numbers into it. Create a model where
Mm.
you can mess about with numbers. That's what we've done. Is
Yeah.
what it look like if my sales trebled? What it look like if they
Mm.
singled? Or if we look at
Mm.
videos, how many video? If I did 10 videos a month, if I did 100 videos, what does that mean for
Yeah,
staffing,
yeah.
for resourcing? And then throw the numbers in and see what it looks like. And
Yeah.
you might be pleasantly surprised that maybe scaling back a little bit
Mm.
or putting some more efficiencies in place or something like that might
Mm.
give you better margins.
Mm.
So what I would say is if you're having a bit of a tough time at the moment and you're growing, I'm
Mm.
not saying don't grow, not saying that,
No,
but
yeah,
explore all
yeah,
options.
that's just our
Don't
opinion. I'm
just
not
look at
yeah.
growth is the route
Yeah.
to
Mm.
success.
Mm.
What else can you do?
I think that
Um,
is paramount because we have recently changed accountants, and that was something that they said
mhm.
I can look at what is making the most profit for you, but you'd already done that. And that it is so important to do
Yeah,
that. And it's eye opening, I would imagine, for people that haven't done that because we did have a friend actually that said that she'd done that and she found it so reflective and
yeah.
she culled some different things in the business that were not working.
Well, there was a guy I used to work for a while ago. Went in and basically helped set him up in business, and he was just
Mm.
buying stock left, right, and centre. And I was like,
Yes.
"You're selling this for this much? You're making no money? Am I
Yeah.
not? I'm not. Oh, no, but it's
Yeah.
bringing in X amount of sales in terms of thousands of sales a week. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're making that. Or you're making 10 pence on a
Yeah.
product. Is it worth
Yeah.
it? Oh, jeez, is that all?
Yeah. That was crazy.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so no
Mm.
definitive answer, but yeah, I would say
Mm.
just be open to looking at all options and avenues.
Yeah. Mm.
So we got an exciting few weeks ahead as well because going off from that subject now, we've got some
Mm.
guests booked in.
We
We've been
have.
threatening it for
I
weeks
know.
and
Yeah.
months and years,
Yeah. We've
and we
got a few.
finally got our arse into gear. Sorry,
Yeah.
and we got some booked in.
Yeah. For the next few months, we've got some really interesting topics, really interesting guests,
Yep.
and we're really excited to have them on.
Yes. So we're
So,
not going to tell you who, but
mm.
Mason. Well, my voice went really funny there.
Oh
But we
dear.
got we can say the industries, can't we? What if they cancel?
Well, they might cancel that, and then it's just
Then we
awkward.
look stupid, don't we?
Yeah. You never know. Life,
Ah, bugger it, I'll say it
life
anyway.
throws things
I
in.
like being
So
looking
don't you?
stupid.
Oh
So,
well.
somebody from HR,
Yeah.
so they
To talk
talk
about
about
all these
all of the
new
changes because if you're
crazy.
anything like me, I'm finding it really difficult to figure them all out.
Well, we thought one thing had come into play, and I mentioned it, and then someone was like, "No, that's not till next
Yeah.
year."
So, somebody about HR, somebody about health and safety,
Mm,
uh, which would be really interesting actually, because I think health and safety is one of those things, depending on the size of the organization,
mm,
I'd be interested to see what their take on it is that health and safety is seen as a burden
mm,
until something hits the fan, and
mm,
then it's the most important thing
mm,
ever.
mm,
So that would be a really interesting
mm.
conversation. Really looking forward to that
Yeah,
one.
and her
Um,
and their journey as well.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, some
And
really interesting
she's got
bits.
some fantastic stories, and she's really helped us grow as well. Like in
Don't give too
sharing
much away, or no one's
stories.
going to tune
I'm not
in.
going to say the
We're
name.
dangling the carrots.
Mm,
And then we've got somebody from marketing.
mm,
So we talk about marketing and that sort of stuff,
mm,
AI, how it's
mm,
impacting things, the good, the bad, the ugly,
mm.
and
And other.
and a business coach.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe they give us some hacks on business and that sort of stuff. And
And some other husband and wife couples as well. So,
do we?
not got the date locked in, but
Oh, we're
we're in
trying to sort out
discussions.
dates. Yeah, discussions.
Yes. So
So,
yes, we'll
so
go.
yeah. So I mean, what I would
Yeah.
say is, if you're interested in being a guest on the show, if you
Mm,
run a business,
mm,
or you run a business with family, so it doesn't have to be husband and wife, could be father and son, could be
mm,
cousins. It doesn't mind.
mm,
Family business,
mm,
or you're in marketing, and you think you can add some value
mm,
to our listeners,
mm.
please
Yeah.
drop us a message,
Mm,
and we'll have a chat and see if we can get something in the diary. But no, we've got
mm,
those coming in the next
mm.
few weeks, so we're really
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah. If
And
they've got
yeah,
loads to talk about, then they can hire out the podcast studio for
there
themselves.
she goes.
Eh?
There she goes.
Well, no, it naturally goes hand in
She's
hand.
like a butterfly. She's like a bird. You're holding her, and then all of a sudden you let she go. She spreads her wings, and she goes, "I'm selling. I'm selling."
I hope you're on video flying like that. Your little
It's
wings.
like the dove from above. Remember? Krrr,
Coo, coo.
krrr. Was it
Hey.
krrr or coo?
Oh,
I remember the action.
cool, cool.
I
Yeah, I
can't
don't
remember.
know. I don't know.
What were you
But
going
we
to say?
went to
Because we
go
need to
see
wrap this
him.
up.
We went to go see him, didn't we?
Angelinos epithemiu. Epithemiu?
Yeah.
I can't
Okay, it was a
pronounce
very
it.
hard surname to
What's
say.
in your bag, Angelos?
Yeah, show us what's in your bag. Yeah, that was funny, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it
So that
was.
was a nice
He went.
change.
So somebody in the audience heckled him
Yeah.
because he bought obviously Sainsbury's bags on, and somebody said, "What's in your bag, Angelo?" He went, "Well," like, yeah. He pulled his finger out to him. Everyone laughed. He was good. He was really
He
good.
said, I've not fucking heard that before, have
Yeah.
I?
So that was really good.
Yeah, he was brilliant,
Yeah,
wasn't
he
he?
was very good. He was
Yeah.
very good. Um, so yeah,
We had a social life, didn't we? We didn't know what was happening.
no, it was a date night almost, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
So,
not almost. It was a date night.
oh yeah, it was a date night. Sorry,
We stayed out till gone 11 o'clock
and
and
stop
got a
off at the
dirty
Chinese on the way
takeaway.
home.
Wasn't dirty takeaway though, was
That
it? It
was
was
quite
really
nice. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
So we did quite well there.
Yeah, we did.
But we
Anyway,
digress.
we do digress.
Mm.
No one wants to know about our dirty takeaways.
No, or our dates.
Uh, so I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, yeah. Nice,
Hope you learned
interesting
something.
conversation.
Yeah,
Just interesting conversation, isn't it? There's so many
sometimes
different
there's no.
factors.
Yeah, sometimes there's not always an easy answer to stuff, is there?
No.
But I think that the thing is, hopefully, you'll take away from this is if you're a business owner, look at everything. Don't
Mm,
just think that growth and size equals success.
mm,
Look at all the variables. Get
yeah.
yourself some kind of model made up where you can throw different things in. and see what it looks like.
Mm, brilliant.
So that's it for this week. We'll
Mm.
be back in a couple of weeks. Maybe with a guest, maybe not. You'll have to wait and
Ooh.
see. Ooh, no one gives a fuck.
Sound like a 5-year-old.
It's because I haven't got the fancy buttons. So, well, we
Yeah,
have in the studio, but I haven't got them
yeah,
out here.
yeah.
So it's the
Uh,
ooh.
Until then, we'll do them ourselves.
All right, ta-da.
Ta-ra, bit.
Bye, bye. Why did I wave?